Just in terms of the game, foul trouble early clearly, affected our chances to be successful. Rashid picking up that second so early in the first half, and that's when San Diego State put some distance. That's when they kind of extended, went on their run with him out, and we fought back some and cut it, to 7. And we played them even for most of the second half till late. So, we were equal on the boards in the first half, shot 50% in the first half. Their putbacks, second chance points in the first half is where they were able to extend some, and then knocking in the 7 threes also, allowed them to extend. So the three-point shooting in the first half and the second chance points is where they were able to put some distance between us and them. But obviously we're a different team when Rashid is on the floor. And in the second half, again, we played them pretty much even until the very end of the game. So big picture, just proud of this group of seniors taking us on this ride, restoring, pride in St. John's, getting us back to the NCAA tournament, and representing the university in such a first-class manner, and all earning their college degrees. True to their character, they fought and scrapped and showed grit, fight, right to the last possessions of the game. So the most gratifying year of my coaching career because of the opportunity to participate in the senior classes, journey here at St. John's.
Okay, we'll now take questions for the student athletes. Please raise your hand. Let Jody and Daniel get the mic to you. Let us know who you are, who you're with, and please designate a specific student athlete. First question to our left.
D'Angelo, Zach Brazil, New York Post. How tough was it against their size without Chris? I mean, they're going 6'7", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", and you guys are playing, obviously, all guards. How difficult was that?
It was tough, but we didn't use that as an excuse. We did what we can down low. You credit them. They got, some of the 50-50 balls and kicked out for threes in the beginning. And they got off to a hot start. And they were shooting threes, and, we were daring them to shoot, and they were making them. So you credit them. It was tough, but we fought as hard as we could, but it just wasn't enough today.
D'Angelo, can you talk about what emotions you were feeling as you picked up your 5th foul, walked off the floor, and realized your career was going to end at that moment?
Just keep trying to do what I can to win the game. Nobody was there to foul, so I fouled. When I sat down, that's when it hit me. It's tough. I don't even know how to put it in words yet. I owe this guy my life, so I'll probably talk to him every day for the rest of my life. So it's just kind of guy he is.
To our left.
Greg Logan of Newsday for Dom. After you got a couple of fouls early, how much did it take away from your aggressiveness? Because you basically were the rim protector back there.
It didn't take away from my aggressiveness at all. I was down there, I was playing tough. The ball didn't bounce our way. A lot of times we had the rebound in our hands. It slipped out our hands and we gave them easy layups like that. So it was more just the ball didn't bounce our way.
Middle of the room.
D'Angelo, it looked like you talked to Winston there a little bit at the end of the game. What did you guys say to each other?
Just continue, to move forward. He played well. Just continued success. That's, my little brother. I probably talk to him every day. I talk to him every day. We're all on a group text. So just saying, keep moving forward and, just keep win the next game. It's important for us, for Houston.
To our left.
Roger Rubin from the New York Daily News. For both of you guys, can you describe the way that when San Diego State gets a second chance point, like after you've already gotten the stop and then they get another chance, the way that affects morale or spirit or your ability to keep pushing?
Dom?
Yeah, it definitely hurts. But that our goal was, get the first rebound. But sometimes they're gonna get the tip, and I try to do my best. And when they get it, try to run up under them, try to grab it too. So they were just bigger than us on some plays, and sometimes you can't just do nothing about it.
Dom?
Exactly what D'Angelo said. We just got our rebounded. We were trying our best. They got the ball bounced their way a couple of times. Sometimes we had the ball, like I said, we had the ball in our hands. It got tipped. Once they get tipped around, they're a lot bigger, so they longer. They get the rebound and they put it back up. I wouldn't say it was deflating until the end because we were still coming back. So, but more toward the end, it hurt us.
Again to our left.
If Chris is there, how different is today's game?
I mean, you could say the game will be different, but we're an old enough group where that wasn't a factor. We tried to play. We played without him. We played without him before. I think we only lost one game when he wasn't out. So I think we're like 6-1 when he didn't play. So we didn't use that as excuse. I mean, you can say it would be different. I mean, 6'9", does unique things, but we didn't use that excuse. We just tried to play hard.
To our left.
For Dom, you had a stretch where you guys got back where you were within 7 again, and you were getting a lot of stops, but you committed 4 turnovers in 5 possessions. How frustrating was it to be there with a chance and not be able to convert?
It's very tough, but we just kept fighting through it. The team, we didn't let those turnovers affect us. We came out. We just scratched it off and kept playing. We started to come back at the end. This was enough. We didn't have enough gas.
Again, our left.
Roger Rubin, New York Daily News. I know that you guys are going out in a very well-respected class. The last 3 games, you had 3 opportunities to do things that you had never done before: beat Villanova, win a Big East tournament game, win an NCAA tournament game. To have come up short on all 3. How do you put that into words?
That's a tough question, to be honest. We tried our best, man. I couldn't do enough today. I played my hardest. I did what I could, and we just came up short. So you credit San Diego State, credit their coach. It's tough. That's a tough question. I don't know how to answer that.
Same, exactly what D'Angelo said. We just played our hearts out, and not winning none of them was hard. But it happens, and I said we had a great year, successful year. As a team, us seniors played our hearts out. Everybody played their hearts out, and that's all we can ask for.
Other questions for D'Angelo or Dom? Okay, thanks, guys. Congratulations on a great year. Okay, questions for Coach Lavin? You can raise your hand and let's get the mics to you. Who has the first question?
Roger Rubin, New York Daily News. Steve, it's the obvious thing that's missing here, which is Chris and the number of second chance points that you mentioned. Is this not somewhat his doing?
It's interesting. If Rashid doesn't get in foul trouble, I think this is a game that comes right down to the wire. We knew San Diego State was very capable, basketball team. They've had a great run of success, 6 straight NCAA tournaments. But to me, the defining or turning point in this game was, Rashid picking up that second foul within the first minute, because he's been a catalyst in this run that allowed us to get to the NCAA tournament, and the numbers, bear that out. And even points in the paint, we outscored them 40-30 with the points in the paint. Granted, there's a plus 13 on the second chance point, so it's undeniable that their size was a factor for them in terms of getting those second shots. But you know, this group has been successful, you know, without Chris. Ideally, we would have preferred to have Chris's, you know, services today. But to me, you know, when I look at the game, it was, you know, when Rashid picked up that second foul because of the way he influences the game at both ends of the court with his ball pressure, with his ability to put pressure on defenses by breaking them down off the bounce, his playmaking ability, finishing at the rim ability, drawing fouls. He's a real catalyst and a key, you know, contributor to what we do at both ends of the floor. And he's one of the better guard rebounders I've coached. So when he went out with the second foul, you know, I mean, really the rest of the game was pretty equal until right there at the end when, you know, we were in a situation where we were just fouling to try and get back into the game. But when we cut it to 7 and had multiple possessions, you know, but we never really got back over the hump from the lead that they extended on us with Rashid out, even though I thought the group, you know, fought back, you know, admirably well given the circumstances. And then I thought the second biggest factor was Dom takes that spill, and then he was just, you know, basically, you know, not the same, you know. So now Obekpa is not with us. Rashid's in foul trouble, and then Dom goes down with the hip pointer, and that just now becomes too much to overcome. And we still fought back in spite of that, had the ball on multiple occasions on the break and a couple possessions where we can cut it, you know, to 5 or even to 4, you know, if we hit a three-pointer on one of those possessions. So the group fought admirably well, and I'm proud of them. But those combinations, Rashid and Dom being injured, I thought was the difference tonight, given that we didn't have Chris with us, you know.
Greg Logan of Newsday. Steve, if you had Obekpa tonight, would you have opened in that zone with Rashid down low, protecting against the guys 6'9", 6'10"?
Yeah, I mean, the hypotheticals are obviously, if we had Maurice Harkless tonight, even, or Jakar Sampson or Amir Garrett, but no, I don't. You know, I'm just proud of this group, and you know, you got to give credit to San Diego State. I mean, they had a great season, and they played really well here tonight, and we came up short. But I thought the foul trouble with Rashid and then Dom's injury, the combination of those two made it very tough on us tonight with the group that we were competing with, you know.
Middle of the room.
Steve, I know the game just ended, but is the door open on a return for Chris Obekpa next season, or do you expect that his time at St. John's is done?
You know, when we'll get a chance here in this next week to decompress and talk to one another. You know, we've texted the last couple days. We've been in communication, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he doesn't return to St. John's.
To our left.
Steve, your postseason record at St. John's is 2-8. Why don't you think it's better, and how disappointing is that number for you?
We probably need about an hour and a half for that one. So I won't, you know, in fairness to the other writers, who probably have deadlines tonight, I'm not even going to delve into that one because I have to talk about the last 5 years and the number of variables of Harkless going pro, Jakar Sampson going pro. I'm just proud of this group that they got us back to the NCAA tournament, and it's so rare to be able to take two groups. You know, the team we inherited from Norm Roberts, he left behind, great character. They were such a special group. DJ Kennedy, we call them the Redeem Team because they got us back after a decade in the desert. There was a long drought. DJ Kennedy and Dwight Hardy, Paris Horn, Justin Burrell, Sean Evans, Malik Booth. You know, I go right down the list. That was a special group of seniors in my initial year at St. John's, and that was like a stepfather, as we all could appreciate. That's tough to do, you know, coming in a stepfather role with someone else's kids. And they punched us back into the tournament, and then we had to start over with this wonderful group that now got us back to the NCAA tournament. And ideally, I wish it finished in the Final Four. We were cutting down the nets with a national championship. But they overcame, you know, a number of things that you don't anticipate. You know, we never thought Harkless would leave after 1 year and lose Jakar after 2 and Amir Garrett to Major League Baseball. But yet these guys, the last of the Mohicans, fought to the last possession for St. John's, really represented the front of that jersey well. And then if we want to do an overview, comprehensive, sit down together, it'd be great to get a cup of coffee with you, Zach.
Middle of the room, third row.
Kyle Spinner, Duff Pen Sports and WSJU. Your 4 seniors played 39 minutes tonight. You had like a 4 or 5 minute stretch right there in the second half where you guys didn't score. Do you think fatigue set in?
Those kids were so tuckered out. That's why I'm so proud of them. The fact that, we were the combination of Dom Pointer being injured, Rashid Jordan being in foul trouble, and then obviously we know we didn't have Chris Obekba's services for the NCAA tournament, and yet it's still a 7-point game with multiple possessions and a chance to cut it inside of 7. So, these kids are superheroes in my eyes. I look up to them, and I told them as much after the game. I've had 27 years in the business, and I probably admire this group more than any that I've coached. And it's tough to separate who's your favorite. And, I've had some special groups along the way, but this one, because of what they had to overcome and where they started as the youngest team in school history. It's not easy. Not only the youngest team in the country, but the youngest team in school history. And then those things we just talked about, the number of kids that along the way decide to opt for the professional route, which I can't fault them for. If I had a chance to be a pro baseball player, I'd go too. If I had a chance to play for the 76ers, the Orlando Magic, I probably would opt for that as well if I was at that age and had that opportunity for financial gain. But it made it tougher, and to me, the story even more remarkable of this group of seniors who will all earn their degrees. So I'm sure they were tired emotionally, physically. They gave everything they had to this university, and they gave us a special ride this year and took us back to the tournament. So couldn't be more proud of them.
Take 2 more questions.
But they were
Back-
probably a little tuckered out.
Sorry, Coach. Back left.
Brian Wilmer, College Hoops Digest. Coach, you talked about how this is your most rewarding season as a coach, and we've talked about these seniors and how they've defined St. John's and the program going forward. How have they changed you as a coach going forward?
Wow. It's a unique group. The first year I didn't get to coach them because of the cancer. And, so they arrived on campus and ended up playing for a coach other than the one that recruited them. And right there, that's not, something they signed up for. Yet they had a great attitude. They were eager to learn. They worked their fannies off that first year and made progress. And then my second year, my father passed away. So anytime you go through a battle with cancer and losing someone so close to you, and this group, there's something special about their character, their makeup, their demeanor. These phrases we use in coaching and teaching and education, and they're just a really special group. So I think their resiliency, their spirit inspires me. Watching their that grit and that determination, that resolve. They were so resolute. Tenacious comes to mind as a word. They're just a tenacious group that would not be denied, which is why they're all going to earn their degrees and why we're here tonight. We just wish we could have taken it further. Obviously, that's what makes it tough. It's kind of a bittersweet. It comes to an end after a great run with this group of kids, and we wish we could have taken it further, but San Diego State played really well, and we were shorthanded, and they deserve to move through the brackets, and we're proud of what we did. Now we go home and regroup.
Last question.
Steve, this is another hypothetical question, I guess.
Okay.
But given Rashid's importance to the team, did you consider either keeping him out
Yes,
there
I did.
or bringing him back early?
Yeah, in hindsight, naturally as a coach, you 2020. But my concern was that if he picked up a third or a third or a fourth, that maybe then we'd look back in the second half. If he ended up fouling out, we didn't have him down the stretch. So, but that we definitely considered it. And then we were staying within. I didn't feel they were pulling enough. If it got past, if they started to go double digits, it was 10, 12, 14, 16, I think I would have gone back to him. But the fact that I felt we were right there within striking distance and ended up being, what a two and a half possession game at half. So I thought we were in a good place. Dom's injury, I think, compounded it because Dom was dominating the game. But then after the hip, I mean, he was not the same player. He hung in there and didn't want to be taken out. But the combination of no Chris O'Beck, but then Rashid's foul trouble with Dom's injury, if we didn't have all three of those working against us, it's, maybe we get inside of 5 or 4 or 3, but it put us under duress because we've shown we can beat anybody playing 6, 7 this year, but we need all 6 of those 7. Now we're down basically to 4 because when Rashid's on the bench, there's no Chris O'Beck, but then Dom's injured. Essentially, we're playing with 4 of the group of 7, and that was a little too much for us to sustain against a good team at this stage of the year.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.